Good evening, everyone, and welcome. This annual meeting of the Savannah Council on World Affairs is called to order. I understand Doug tells me that we have a quorum, so we can proceed. This meeting will include two motions and a call for vote for each one. One is approval of the minutes of last year's meeting, and there'll be a vote to elect new directors to the board. Next, you have been provided a copy of the minutes of last year's annual meeting held on January 25th of 2024. Can we have a motion to approve those minutes, please? Great, thank you. And we have a motion. Is there a second? Second? Great. All right, thank you. Is there any discussion? No discussion. Seeing that it's been moved and seconded with no discussion, the minutes of last year's meeting of January 25th, 2024 have been approved. Before we get to the election of new directors, I want to highlight once again that the Savannah Council is an all-volunteer organization, and we rely on our membership to provide the leadership to make the council work. And I want to thank the members who have taken their time to provide this leadership this past year. First, Justin Godshow is our vice president. Bob Rogers is our treasurer. I don't see Bob. Oh, hey, right there. Okay. Just wave your hand, Bob. But okay, that's Bob. Doug Eberly is our corresponding secretary right over by the door. And Jacek Lubetsky is our recording secretary right there in the front row. Thank you to each. And I'm grateful to each of them. That's the executive committee, and I'm grateful to them for their steady and their mighty efforts. I also want to commend and thank Ambassador Larry Silverman, chair of our programs committee, for his work in identifying and bringing before us experts in diverse fields of international affairs. Jennifer Dwyer is chair of our nominating committee. You'll hear from her in a minute. And Doug is also the chair of our membership committee. Jerry Thomas is in the very back row back there. Thanks, Jerry. And he's chair of our sponsorship committee. And new grandfather, Bob Chandis, chairs our facilities committee. Now, Bob is not here. He's in London, spending time with his new grandson. Congratulations, Bob and Alice. And, of course, your children who just had the baby. Those directors that I didn't name, also, they serve on the different committees that we have. And it's been my honor to serve as the board's president. Please join me in thanking all the directors for their contributions this past year. Great, thank you. Now to the election of directors. I want to introduce Jennifer again. Jennifer Dwyer is chair of our nominating committee, who will present the nominees for election. And Jennifer, I'll pass the microphone to you with the caveat you got to get real close to it.
And you want me to be okay, so as he explained, I'm the nominating chair here, and I'm here to introduce new board members and a slate of nominees to be elected to the board. Okay, how about that? Boy, really? Okay, so we have an abundance of great people willing to serve on our board of directors. First, I'd like to introduce Becky Cheatham. You can stand up when I call your name. Former Savannah Council World Affairs Board President and member, and also Corey Highland. These are two people. He has a career in international business and international non-governmental organizations. They have agreed and been approved to serve on the board to fill some terms of members who resigned last year. In addition, tonight, our membership will vote on a slate of 7 candidates to the board of directors. In each case, these members will be elected to serve regular 3-year terms. First, William Todd Gherkin. He is, until recently, director of U.S. Foreign Commercial Service Programs in Southern Georgia, has worked in export assistance in downtown Savannah. He's worked in Washington, D.C. He also serves on the Savannah State University College of Business Advisory Board, or has done so since 2008. Next to him, we have Gordon Matthews. He has had a long career in business, management consulting, and leadership development. He was CFO of Chatham Steel, and in the management consulting space was manager in Atlanta, in the Atlanta office of Accenture. Gordon's career has included building several different companies, including serving as the CEO of Savannah Bee Company. He has also been very active as a volunteer in a wide range of civic organizations. I cannot list them all here, but including past president of Historic Savannah Foundation, Tivy Post Theater, vice chairman of Savannah Development Renewal Authority, and on the board of governors of Georgia Conservancy, and also as a district governor of Rotary International, 6920. Next, we have Joyce Wallace. Unfortunately, Joyce cannot be with us tonight. She, like many of us, has been hit with a very virus, so she is not well. She is a member of the Senior Intelligence Services who served for over 30 years in the Central Intelligence Agency as a certified operations officer in both the foreign field as well as in CIA headquarters. She has had many foreign field assignments, Africa, Middle East, all over. After 9/11, she directed worldwide counterterrorism operations at CIA headquarters and supported joint forces efforts in a war zone. Finally, of the 4 new members, brand new members, new to you, we also have Marjorie Young over here. She's founder, president, and CEO of Carriage Trade Public Relations here in Savannah. In 2013, Savannah Morning News named Carriage Trade Small Business of the Year, and in 2021 named Marjorie as Savannah's Community Star. We think she's a star. She also won Entrepreneur of the Year in 2006. She also has volunteered in a variety of organizations. She's a past chair of SCORE, the Small Business Chamber and Small Business Council, and a past president of the Rotary Club of Savannah. Also on the board of Leadership Savannah, Hospice Savannah, University of Georgia, Dawn's Daughters Leadership Academy. You get the idea. Very busy. So those are our 4 brand new members on the slate. The next 3 names are well known to this audience. In fact, we just went through them, including Justin Gottschalk, who has taught a variety of economics classes, has done a number of things in Savannah, previously worked as managing director for PricewaterhouseCoopers. But he previously served on the board and is currently serving on the board as our vice president. He is, though, filling a term that was vacated by another member midstream. So tonight we're electing him to a full 3-year term. Similarly, Bob Rogers, our treasurer, currently serving on the board as our treasurer. He moved to Savannah 11 years ago from a career in New Canaan, Connecticut. He spent over 40 years in the investment business in New York City, was chairman of Parks of Recreation in New Canaan, treasurer of Skidaway Farms for 4 years, and is a U.S. Navy veteran, home ported in Japan, dear to my heart. Like Bob, he is serving on the council at the moment as a treasurer because he too was invited onto the board to fill a midterm vacancy. Tonight, he is also being nominated for election to a regular 3-year term. And finally, Ambassador Larry Silverman, as you all know, retired U.S. Senior for Foreign Service, at the Minister Council level. He has held many posts, including Ambassador to Kuwait, Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for Near East Affairs, Special Assistant for Europe and Russia to the Vice President, et cetera, et cetera. He has served in many, many countries. I can't possibly list them all. Larry was first elected to the Savannah Council Board in 2022, and tonight is being nominated for election to a second 3-year term. He currently serves on the board as the chair of our programs committee and is the person most responsible for the excellent quality of our speakers, as evidenced by the program tonight by Tom Shannon, former acting Secretary of State. So with these introductions, and as the chair of the nominating committee, I move that the membership of the Savannah Council on World Affairs approve this slate of candidates for 3-year terms to the board of directors.
And is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Thank you. Any discussion? No, great, thank you. Thank you, Jennifer, for all the work you've done in bringing these candidates to our to the board. No longer candidates; they are now directors. I want to express immense gratitude to a couple people. One of them is to Doug Eberly for his work. Don't go away, Doug. To say that Doug has been corresponding secretary and membership chair doesn't seem to reflect the time and energy that Doug has spent in keeping us together. You know Doug mainly through the program and membership announcements that you receive. Sounds simple? It's not. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. Thank you again, Doug. So, now, I'd like to introduce Bob Rogers, who will present a very brief treasurer's report. Bob?
Good evening. I have been treasurer for 2 years, and I'm again glad to say that the finances of the organization remain quite strong. But having said that, I would like to emphasize that membership income and guest fees do not cover normal operating expenses. So to the extent that some of you have the wherewithal to make a gift or a scholarship donation, it would be greatly appreciated and necessary. Corporate sponsors remain a key source of income, and hopefully you get a chance to visit some of their organizations. This year, we will have a one-time expenditure of $4,000 to upgrade our web page. In this day and age, that's a necessary expenditure, and hopefully will make the website more user-friendly. Finally, I'm happy to say that last year, calendar year, we did donate $5,000 in scholarship money to Georgia Southern and Savannah State. So it's 25% of our income. So again, the money goes to a worthwhile cause. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. And there is no motion on this. That's strictly for information. So thanks for a job well done, Bob. A couple comments. 2024 was a robust year for the Savannah Council as we held 9 programs and returned our program venue to this site, the Coastal Georgia Center. Our membership exceeds 220. Doug says we have over 500 on our mailing list, but active members that come total over 220. And the average attendance for our programs exceeded 100 this past year. We've maintained the support of 11 sponsors and are very appreciative of their continued support for our programs and scholarships. I want to add that we encourage members to become individual or corporate sponsors, as Bob was just talking about. If you choose to do so, please contact Jerry Thomas or Justin Godshow if you're inclined, and we would very much appreciate your support in that regard. We're happy to report that the Great Decisions program will continue under the Savannah Council's leadership in 2025. In fact, it'll be starting this Sunday. 2 sessions will be held this winter and spring on the landings, and 1 will be held at the Senior Center downtown in the fall. There's space remaining in each session, and so if you're interested in joining, please contact any director who will be able to point you in the right direction. The board thanks Jennifer Dwyer again for her efforts in managing this engaging, issue-related international affairs discussion program. This concludes my report, except to say it's been my honor and pleasure to serve as president of the board of directors for the past 31 months. I'm proud of the work done by the council and feel a great sense of satisfaction and accomplishment for the work that has been done by the council on behalf of our members in promoting awareness of international issues for the Savannah community. I'd like to ask if there's a request for additional business items at this time. Is there any interest in additional business items? No, I see none. So we will move on. Thank you. At this point, it's my honor to introduce to the board our president for this year, for the 2025 year, and again, Jennifer Dwyer. Please join me in thanking and congratulating Jennifer. She chooses not to come to the podium, but she said she would wave and let you know again who she is. So thank you, Jennifer. Okay, so this concludes our annual meeting, and thank you for attending. This brief as it may seem to you and somewhat trite at different times, it is important to our organization to have this every year. Our bylaws require it. So thank you for attending. And our program with Ambassador Tom Shannon will begin in just a couple minutes. Okay, thank you.